Hi, my name is Grace Tran, and today I'm going to be answering the questions given to us the Module 3 assignment. So question 1 is split into two parts, and so the first part is asking us to describe 2 reasons why speakers must cite their sources. So the first reason that speakers must cite their sources is to show credibility of their evidence. Without citing their sources, speakers could just be making up their evidence on the spot and not showing that it's actually trustworthy. So that is why citing your sources is good, to show credibility. The second reason is to show that the speaker actually came prepared. By having backup evidence that supports or does not support their points, then that way they're able to show that they've actually committed to researching the topic as well as others' points of views. The second part of question 1 asks which 2 suggestions from the video did I find most useful. The first one that I found most useful is to vary how I introduce my citations. Before, I had always used the same introduction, thinking that it gave a sense of uniformity, but now watching the video, it gave me a new realization where they might come off as boring and bland. The second suggestion that I found helpful is how to introduce citations with co-authors. I had never known before how to introduce those. I usually just introduce the first author because that was the author that usually showed up in the work cited. I never knew that I had to say the first author along with their co-authors. Question 2 first asked to describe 2 of the 9 principles I feel are most important when preparing and delivering speeches. So the 2 that I find important are understanding and respecting before responding to others, and the second one is to never condemn communication that degrades individuals and humanity. I think these are really important because understanding someone's point of view and what they're saying before responding is something that my mother always taught me when I was a kid up until today, where in order to understand someone's feelings and their perspective, that I need to put myself in their own shoes and try and understand where they're coming from before I try and become defensive of where I came from. I feel like that allows the audience and everyone in the conversation to be more understanding of each other and considerate of how one topic may affect someone differently than themselves. The reason that I believe that we should not condemn communication that degrades individuals or humanity is just because there's no way to create unity and one peaceful standard without, being able to understand others. And by degrading others, whether it's individually or humanity-wise, it's just going to separate us rather than unite us. I feel like the most difficult principle to achieve, however, is taking responsibility of where we as individuals might have gone wrong. I think it's very hard to come to terms that you might have done something incorrectly, unintentionally, and to realize that sometimes we are the bad guy, just because most times in life we see ourselves as the protagonist and as the good guy, and that we always understand our point of view without thinking about the whole topic. So I think that is why responsibility is the hardest thing. It's definitely the hardest thing for me sometimes, so I believe that's the hardest thing for a lot of people as well. Thanks for listening and have a nice night.